Now, I don't watch many ecchi anime, but when I do, I usually enjoy them for obvious reasons. And outside of High School of the Dead and High School DxD, there isn't a more famous ecchi anime than Food Wars Shokugeki no Soma. And after finishing all 5 plates, I can say that it is for a good reason. Outside of all the memes, moments, and characters maxing out their jiggle physics, you have an actually good anime with interesting characters who are all, for the most part, fully fleshed out. Now, Food Wars isn't perfect, and I do have my gripes with the anime, specifically the 5th plate, which deservedly achieved the lowest score out of any of the seasons on my anime list, but we can talk about that later. I really liked Food Wars, and like any good meal, the anime made me want to come back for more. The show is centered around Soma, a fantastic young chef voiced by Yoshitsugu Matsuoka. I believe that's how you say it, I probably butchered the name, a very prolific voice actor. Yotsugu is phenomenal in the role and really makes Soma seem like a standout character, and someone the audience would willingly follow for 5 seasons. Believe it or not, Soma was actually the first time I heard Yotsugu Matsuoka in a significant role. All of his other major roles were in anime that I've seen dubbed or not seen at all. Kirito, Sora, Inosuke, Teruki, Beetlejuice, that one guy from Akame ga Kill who had the wire weapon. All those characters I've seen dubbed. And Bal from Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon? I've not seen that anime yet, so I was a little excited to finally see this guy's performance, and I was not disappointed. It's clear why this guy keeps getting big roles. Anyway, Soma's great, if not a little cocky, but that's what makes his character so enjoyable. He's arrogant, but he has the skills to back it up, and unlike other characters and other people in real life, he will gracefully accept defeat. Something that Soma is used to after continually losing to his dad in numerous cook-offs. So the story of Food Wars is initially very simple. Soma is sent to a cooking school and his aim is to become the #1 chef at that school. Sadly, the anime eventually loses sight of this and starts to throw a lot more ingredients into the pot, some of which don't actually work. The story becomes a little convoluted, and whereas before the show was about Soma's journey, it's now about something else. I believe this decision was to the detriment of the anime. To continue the food metaphors, the early season was good comfort food. You didn't have to think too hard, you could just sit back and enjoy yourself. On the other hand, the later seasons were a lot harder to swallow. They're still enjoyable, you don't come away regretting eating the food, but you kind of miss and long for the more simpler comfort food you initially had. Fortunately for Food Wars, the characters are really great. Outside of Soma, there's Arina Nakari, a character you are almost guaranteed to initially hate. She's horrible to the people around her, and treats Soma in particular very unfairly. However, I would argue that Arina is actually the strongest element in the Food Wars, and the one part of the anime that is strong throughout, including the 5th plate. While Soma and the other characters in Food Wars receive some development in the anime, it pales in comparison to what Arina goes through, and your opinion of her is likely to do a full 180 whilst watching the anime. She finally learns from her mistakes and is able to stand up for herself, and I couldn't help but smile and throw my fist into the air whilst watching her story progress. Ikumi Mito is a character that I absolutely adored in the anime. Why, I hear you ask? Because she's hot. That's it. She's beautiful. She perfectly balances what all tsunderes are able to by being both hot and cute. That's it. That's her whole character, and I was always more than happy to see her on screen. Megami Tadokuro is a character that I have mixed feelings towards. I like her. She receives a lot of development, but at the same time she takes screen time away from interesting characters. Whenever she's in a scene with Soma or Arina or Aldini, those are the characters your attention is drawn to, not Megami. Plus every second she's on screen is another second away from my beloved Ikumi Mito. Alice Nakira is a good character who unfortunately fades into the background when her sidekick Ryo Kurikiba ends up stealing her limelight. I like both characters, but I feel like they could have done so much more with her character. She feels like wasted potential, and as much as I enjoy Ryo's dual personalities, I really wish that they did more of Alice's character. Aldini is a character who sneaks up on you. He initially feels like another Ikumi Mito, a cool character relegated to sitting on the bench, but the anime wisely takes advantage of his character. I love his relationship with his brother, and even though Aldini is the superior chef, I like that the anime takes the time to show that the two brothers care for one another and respect each other. I also love Aldini's relationship with Soma. Aldini constantly tries to act cool in front of Soma, and each time he does it, he fails. However, like with his brother, the two characters respect each other, and you get the feeling the two actually view each other as rivals. It was also interesting to see how big a role Aldini played in the 5th plate, considering how few characters from the previous plates actually appeared in a significant capacity in this season. Akira Hayama was a very cool character, but I wasn't a fan of some of the things that his character does, as it feels like it's there only for drama's sake. The Elite 10 were very good, and I like how they're positioned as the things Soma needs to overcome to achieve his goal. I liked Ishiki the moment we met him, and I enjoyed every moment he was on screen, including the fan service moments. I also really liked Aishi Tsukasa. He felt like an interesting antagonist, and I was very happy to see him return for the 5th plate. The rest of the characters in Food Wars are all good. I really like Soma's dad and the connection he has with both his son and Arena, and I generally enjoyed spending time with any of the characters, especially Ikumi Mito. I didn't much care about the soundtrack for Food Wars. It didn't leave much of an impact on me. JC staff were animating this one, and overall, I think that they did an alright job. The animation isn't great, but it's not bad either. You're not going to cringe in disgust while watching anime, but at the same time your clothes aren't going to magically shoot off your body whilst you squirm in ecstasy as a bright yellow light hides your genitals. Let's just put it that way. Now let's move on to what you've been waiting for. It's time to discuss the 5th plate. The 5th plate is not very good, and while I don't know for certain, the rumour that it was responsible for the cancellation of the series makes sense to me. By this point in the story, Soma has achieved what he wanted, and pretty much every character has developed as far as they can, hence why most of them are absent for the majority of the 5th plate. I do like what the season does with Arena's character, but the 5th plate just isn't as entertaining as the rest of the anime. I really didn't like Cyber Asahi. He felt like he was in the 5th plate solely to be an antagonistic force, and to carry on the age-old tradition of having the protagonist level up, there's an even stronger, more intimidating villain, cheapening the hero's previous victory. I also didn't like his relationship with Arena. It felt unnecessary, and it felt like another way to make this guy relevant. It's sad how weak the 5th plate is compared to the previous 4, as it leaves the anime with a bit of a bad taste, but I did overall enjoy Food Wars, even the 5th plate. I liked how it at least wrapped up Arena's story. Food Wars is probably one of my favourite anime, and I really liked the ecchi scenes, especially the ones that involved Ikumi Mito. Anyway, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to catch you next time. Bye bye!